ambient noise, outdoor sounds. Welcome to the show. New screen, new camera location. Watch out. We'll see how this works. Hey, I'm Tom. Welcome to the show. It's time for... You can't do that on Salesforce. It's time for Uno Part 4. And I actually was posting some old videos and didn't realize that we are 4 Unos into into the show. I thought we were only into 3. But this is the 4th. And we are going to play with some UX. We're going to take a look at this reactive flow stuff because that sounds super interesting. And I've seen some posts on LinkedIn, and I definitely want to play with that. It's a testament to how fast this platform moves. It just can't keep up with everything. But anyway, let's get some screens up here. Welcome to the org. That's weird. Dreamforce registration. Neat. Yeah, I submitted some Dreamforce events or sessions, but they didn't get picked. Sad trombone. Both for my day job and for us here at... You can't do that on Salesforce. So it goes. Maybe we'll try to push them or promote them at some other Dreamin' events. But the show must go on, and the show will go on. So where are we? When during our last episode, I don't think we updated a whole lot of this, but we did a lot of work on some flow for the game engine. And we can do a quick recap of that. And then we can get to work on what else we've got going on. And I can try to find all my screens here because I got too many. Here we go. Yeah, so some flows that we worked through. New game, new turn. Where we left last week was how do we start the game and use the turn model to drive that. So because everything's, if you have a turn in the game, it sort of perpetuates the progression. If you don't have a turn, then you need to kind of fake it. If we look at the nature of creating a new turn in particular, we have some logic up here that checks to see is there a turn, right? So if I'm going to call create new game, and we ran this last week and it seems to be working. I get all the way down to the bottom here, and I want to somewhere create, start this game. We've set up, this flow does everything that we need it to do in the sense of getting the game started. So now it's set the table basically. So now we need a turn. But to have a turn, you need a turn because create a new turn will actually get a player, going. But the start of a game in Uno is the dealer basically has to turn over the first card. It would be really nice if we could turn over that first card and use the turn model to then start the first turn, right? So my thought is, over here in Create New Game, when we flip over that card, we could treat that as a turn. Not a real turn, if you will, but a turn that has a different type, maybe. If we look at our turns object, we have a status. Maybe we could use that. The dealer or something like that, so that we could say, hey, this was the first turn, and now in my flow now actually start the first turn. That'll give us the continuity we need. It has somebody turning over the first card, and it can then go in and say, when it's time to create a new turn, it says, oh yeah, well, we have a turn and it's done, and run down through this whole thing. Because if we don't have a turn that's done, we don't do anything, right? So kind of priming the pump, kickstarting the system, whatever you want to call it. So I think up in here, we're going to do that. So here's create new turn, right? This is actually calling to create that first turn. So in between here, we want to kind of make our, we could call it like create dealer turn or something like that. I'm not going to use this same flow. I think we're just going to kind of construct it ourselves, or maybe it becomes a subflow if it gets a little too complicated. Because what are we going to need to do? Well, we need to create a turn record. And a turn record has these fields. So it is going to draw a card from the top. That's part of the, which is actually part of create new turn, I think. Do we draw a card from here? We do. So we draw within our create new turn. So that's already written. So could we do something else? We don't want to use the current turn. Maybe we just add a... Maybe we don't create a turn. Maybe we create a status on the game that says, you know, ready or something like that. So we could look here and say, all right, because we've already got some logic here that if we don't have a turn at all, or the current turn's status, I'm sorry, if we have a turn, wait, is that right? Turn from get late is null true. If we don't have a turn or a latest turn, or that turn is done, then we go down, this path. So the don't have a turn means the player hasn't played. What we need is don't have a card, basically, and need to kick this off. So could we basically turn over the first card of the game? So we convert it from draw to discarded, right? And we can pull that first sequence and do that. Then that's in place, and now we can begin our game. So maybe that's what we need to do here instead. And I was originally thinking like fake a turn, but maybe we don't have to do that. I don't think we run into an issue if we work that way. All right, let's start here. We want to find, so we updated our game cards based on they've been dealt. The cards have been dealt. That's kind of what we're doing over here is dealing the cards. So everybody's got 7, I think, as a start of a game, Uno game. So now we need to turn over the next card in the draw pile. And let's see, we updated our game cards. So we have an updated game card iterator. I think we're going to need to query again from here, because now those cards don't, or I should say the deck, we basically want to query the deck, the draw pile, right? The top card in the sequence from the draw pile. So let's try to do that. Get records, get top draw pile card, and that's gonna be a card within the game. Oh no, not a card. I'm sorry, that's a player card. A game card. I'm sorry. It's a game card where the game equals we have a variable in here that creates the game. Where are you? I think we have it. Probably should just search for it. The game ID from create game. So those are all the cards in the game. And well, actually, we could just pull draw from draw pile, right? I think we have draw pile here. So where the games pile equals the pile, this pile, right? And I think that's it. The draw pile of the game. Yeah, we've got that there. So now we're going to sort those by sequence because we already randomized. We only want the first one. We can store all the fields, that's fine. And we are going to flip that to I suppose we could do this in one. Can we? Yeah, can we? Wait, except we could actually. Let's see. I think we can just do the update. We don't actually need to. Well, let's see if it'll let us. Specify conditions, right? So this is turn top draw pile card. Okay. Specify the conditions. Game card. The field is again our pile equals pile ID from draw. And then we're gonna, we can't sort though. Oh. All right. Well, we're gonna do the get and the update separate then, I guess. I thought we could sort and only pull the first one, but I guess not. No big deal. Let's do what we were doing. Let's get draw pile top card, and that's a game card, and that is pile equals pile ID from draw. So we're doing all this again. Sort by sequence, just one record, store all fields, done. Now let's we're going to update that record. Update update top game card, and that's a game card again. We could say the ID equals what was that? Get draw top pile dot ID, and we are going to set the pile to the discard pile. Done. And save. So let's see. Meanwhile, over here in game land, could we look at, actually, let's look at the pile. The pile has card count. So we could, in our turn, I'm going to activate this because I feel semi-confident in it. And in order to test it, we have to have the new version. We get game. We could have logic here that says, let's see, get game. discard pile card count. Can we make that an or? Well, we could make it an and, right? So we could do the first two, this or this. Got to have one of these, and you got to have at least one card in the discard pile. Greater than 0. So now we're telling the first card step to make sure we've got a card in the discard pile. That's always got to be true. So even if we get to the end and we have to shuffle the discard pile, that'll be another interesting step, because that's a good question. How does that rule work? If you have to shuffle, let's see. Hey, ChatGPT, where are you? Yes. 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 Oh, darn it. Gotta find my password for ChatGPT. Okay. Oh, Max. All right. I'm gonna use the. I can't link my. I guess I have too many ChatGPT accounts, so I'll just do this on my personal account. There we go. All right. What are we asking? In the game of Uno, if you run out of cards in the draw pile, do you reshuffle the top card of the discard pile? Except the top card and use it as the new draw pile. Okay, the top card of the old discard remains the same. I thought that was the rule, because that would be awful stinky if you were playing and sort of had a thing going and then whoop, got taken away because the top card changed. So yeah, okay. So that's a thing. We haven't even played around yet. We have to get through the bottom of a game, which is part of the act of playing a card or ending your turn. We'll need to have some rules there. But for now, I think as simply as that. So if we get the top card from the draw pile, update it to the discard pile, then create a new turn, hopefully our sequence of events allows the discard pile's card count to be greater than 0. This should all work magically, right? New version. Activate. I guess I didn't have to activate create new game because we should test that. But all right. I think we're good. Before we do this, I've been at this desk for a while, and I'm going to run and grab a soda, and I'm going to run and grab some food that hopefully you guys won't be disgusted if I eat on camera. So we will be right back. Hold tight. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute. And we're back. I have some fruit. I have a drink. I am going to probably mute myself again and eat some banana while we talk through what's going on screen here. So, or don't talk through what's going on screen here. I'm going to turn off my camera and turn off my sound so you guys don't listen to me eat a banana. And we'll do some work. All right, well, we got a new game. And it didn't explode. We do have to put the top card in here on the game. We'll try to do that in our flow. But let's see what we've got. Let's see, the game cards. Aha, okay. The first, let's see, 1, 2, down to 14. First 14 cards were dealt because we can see. Hi again. We can see the piles that they've been applied to. So, player 1 is pile 59, hand. Player 2 is pile 60, hand. So doop 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 back and forth, and then we get down to 60, we get down to 14 because 7 cards. Boop, 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 boop. And now we took red reverse, and this should be the discard pile. And it is. Okay, so, and it has a card count of 1. Yay. And we can see that happened. And did we create a turn? That's the next question. We didn't create a turn. Let's look at why didn't we create a turn. Whole lot of debug. Get latest turn. So we don't have a turn, right? Outcome conditions. Latest turn. Turn is null. Let's see, backing up a little bit. We did our top card. Create new turn with the game. Got our game. Our latest turn. Cannot create new turn. Current turn is not complete. So, but we didn't create a turn. It thinks we did. Let's see here. Did we? I don't think we did. Unless we're searching for a term without a turn. Yeah, we're searching for a turn without the context of the game. That would do it. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, so, we need where the game equals get game ID. That would help because we're all. Yeah, that's pretty kind of a big deal to make this work. All right, that works. So now, what? Run it again, I think. Pause audio for chewing. All right, enough cantaloupe. Let's see. What did we? What I'm seeing is our players have cards down through 14, and then our next card was added to the discard pile. Should that have happened? Create new turn. Does all the fun stuff. Evaluate latest turn. Somewhere, somehow, it's getting into the wrong pile. Set game card hand. In the turn, did we draw that? Let's see. Oops. Oh, wait. First turn, player 32? No, that doesn't seem right. I bet you we have another case where the players aren't filtered. Yep. So in these cases, and probably the ones below it, we are not querying. We are not, again, not filtering by the game. So in all these cases, we're getting users getting a user, actually getting a user by sequence, which could go across the whole gamut. So let's update these. Game equals get game.id. That's the first one. Here's the second one. Game equals get game.id. Second one. Third one. Game equals get game.id. And fourth equals game equals get game.id. Okay. That may not be the last time this happened because I probably forgot that context in other places. I'm trying to think where else do we have gets that okay, we did it right there. Are there any other gets? No, that's okay. We got it right there too. Okay, so now maybe now we're good. And we need to activate this so that create new game has the latest. Okay. Let's go again. Okay. Let's take a look at our data. We got game 20. We got game cards. And we're still hitting the, well, wait, do we have a turn? We have a turn. It's a player in the game, so that's good. It's the right player because the sequence is lowest. And then they drew this card, which is part of the right game. So player 40 in game 20 drew card 729. Am I reading that all right? One, two, we're down to 14. This is where the problem is, right? Wait, no, this makes sense. Because this should be in the discard pile right now. And it is. That's our turned over card. That's the card that we probably should set top card to. So that's the top card. But then then what? Then we don't get, that's the top card in the discard. This should have been selected and in pile 67. So 1744. So let's find out what happened at the end here. What was in the discard? All right, so we're definitely in our get draw top card. Did that. I think that's our discard card. Yep. And then create new turn. Get latest turn. Did not find. Okay. Is turn done? It's null. It's not the right status. And this value. Okay, so is it reversed? No. We get the latest user, which would be, let's check this user. Oh wait, that's the game. Hold on. Yeah. This is our player. We're dealing with game 20, so we've got to just keep that in mind. This is player in game 20. Yep. If I go look at the game, yep, player 40 in game 20. Set next player. Evaluate last turn. Skipped this outcome because its conditions weren't met. So I think this is the problem, maybe. We don't have a latest turn because we don't actually have a latest turn. So, top card might be better here than what we've been doing. Because get latest turn is not guaranteed at the onset of the game. So where we've got this logic, get latest turn somewhere in here. That's not it. Evaluate latest turn. Right. This should be really evaluate top card. So, back here, update top game card. We want to update our game. With top card. And our record is, well, our record is game. Oh, we're gonna have to specify a game ID. What's this game? Game and ID equals game ID. And we're gonna set top card equals that card that we just had. I have top card color here. I don't think we need that, but I don't think we need that. Feels like we could just derive it, but I'm missing a reason for that, so let's save that. You see that without crazy loop? I have no idea what that was. Okay, so we have that in place, and now let's change this to, I want to say evaluate top card. So we're going to go from get latest turn to get game, right? Get game. Top card action. Right? Top card dot card dot action. Get game, top card, card action. Get game, top card, card action. And then default. Okay. That's done. Save this before I lose it. Set the draw counts. This is wrong. This needs to be. We need the. We need this not just from the game. We need this from the draw pile. I think this is where it's blowing up. It's pulling that top card from the sequence and it's just reassigning it to the first player. That's why we don't see anything. We need a game card where pile. So we don't really even need to evaluate the game. We could just say get game dot draw pile dot ID. Right, and that's what we're evaluating. I can get rid of this. Ascending order. Got that. Move it to the hand. Then we set the turn fields. That's get next game card. That's what we're after. And then we insert our turn. I think we got it. All right. If that saves, let's reactivate that. And let's debug this again. And run that. Pick our users. Go. Okay. Let's look at the data before we look at the debug. Top card All right. I'm going to open up a couple other windows here. So top card is 1851. Game cards 1851. But still, this is going to... That went to 70. This should be the next card being drawn. I don't understand. Get next game should be from the draw pile of the game. What did we debug out of here? Draw count reached greater than 1, default, so we're not greater than 1. We get the next game card. We found a record. I want to see what we got here. Because we get store the values of these fields. Well, what did it draw, right? Are we not putting... No, we're putting it in their hand. We have our next player. The game, the player, the drawn. All right, well, let's go look. What's our latest? Game 21. Player 42 goes first. They drew 1852. But the hand is 71. So where did it go? Let's follow that back again. This is the turn. They drew 2052. But the pile it's in is 69, which is still the draw pile. So somewhere along the way, we're not reassigning the hand. Oh, wait. Are we in a loop? Anywhere? Yep. No. Set game card hand. This is not updating, right? Set new turn fields. Yes. But we need to do an update. Yeah, we need to update next game card hand, right? Whew, that's a mouthful. Okay. Next game card. Oh, wait. Yeah, next game card. Because we did it already, right? We set it here. Yeah. Okay. We just weren't updating that, so that probably was the problem. Not the world's most efficient. There's a lot of queries here. 1, 2, worst case 3, 4, 5, 6. Worst case draw 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, there's Sokol and DML there, so maybe half and half of each of those. But okay, now really this time it might work. Let's activate new turn. And let's get rid of that and debug this one again. This will be game 22. I can feel it. This is going to be it. Okay, all done. Okay. Top card 1959. 2 players, U3, U2. U3 goes first, lower sequence. Yes. The turn. Card drawn 1960. Let's open up all of our game cards. I'm going to close out this other stuff. 1960. 75. Yes. Okay, our player. What has happened? Is the cards kind of tell the story, right? So drawing hands, drawing hands, drawing hands, drawing hands down to 14. This is what was turned over. So this is the top card, I assume. Let's go back to our game. Top card should be 59, and it is. Blue for whatever. I don't know why we're keeping that, but hopefully will come to me. And then green reverse is in 75. So if I'm player 1, which is who? Player 1 is 44. We'll say that. Player 1 44. I have in my hand now, let's go look. 8 cards, which makes sense because I just drew green reverse. Okay. The game has started. Now what do we do from here? We need a way to, user 2's got to get in and play, right? So this is, I'm going to go ahead and activate this new game flow. I think we got it. Fun stuff. Straightforward, I guess. There's a lot that happens between, and so, okay, we probably need a finish screen here, so we'll do that in a little bit, or I'll forget, more likely. So now it is somebody's turn. So somebody's got to play. And I'm going to play both hands, both sides of the thing here, if you will, because I'm still an admin. So we're gonna completely ignore security for a little while and see if we can, just make this happen. So this is the hand of player. Make sure I got this right. Pile 75 is for the current user. So here's pile 75, and these are the cards in that hand. So now we don't really care about sequence anymore. We just need best fit for the for the game we're playing. Robots could do this, I'm just saying, you know, but we'll crawl before we walk. What have I got? What have I got in my hand? And then what have I got on the so, okay, this would be cool. I create a screen flow. We wanted to mess around with S4 be with you. Yes, we are. Yes, we are unoing. That's kind of a creepy smiley face there. Okay. So we could create a screen flow, play around with some reactive components. What would make sense? It's somebody's turn. What do they need to know? They need to, well, see what the top pile is. I guess they don't really need to care about the how much is left in the draw pile. We would take care of that for them. And what else do they need to know? They need to know what's in their hand. So maybe we could have a really basic, like, you know, top card. You come to the screen flow. It's your turn. We check to see is your turn over or not. If it's not, and it's the only turn that's going to be active is. Do we have a status for that? Let's see. I think we have a status for. Oops. Let's go back to the game. And the status is next because it's either next, drawn, or done. So actually, we drew, right? We drew for this player. So this should actually, the status should be drawn. So that would be new turn. I don't know if we're ever going to have next, really. Because when we start a new turn, we just draw for you. So status equals drawn. Next might not be necessary in our world. When would you... Oh, wait. No. Nope, that doesn't... I was thinking about skipped. And do we skip... Is skip a turn? We're going to have to get into that at some point. I think it has to be a turn so we can play the... You know, have the sequence play out. Or have the turn model play out. So, you know, got to have a turn for that. Because we got some logic in there that says, hey, are you skipping? But anyway, we'll get to that later. So drawn. So get the next turn of the game that is not drawn. Or not, you know, get the drawn game. All right, so we're going to need another flow. Let's... do I want to go? I probably want to keep these open. I don't think we're out of the woods yet with some debugging there. Flow. And let's do play turn, I guess, right? New flow. Screen flow. Where should this originate from? We could originate it from the game. Could also originate it from the turn itself, which might be, maybe there's a handy way to display all your turns. So let's go with the turn. Let's pass in record ID, assuming it's the turn. And then we could change that, I guess, if we need to. Okay, let's record ID. We're going to make this a record. We're going to make this a turn. Where are you? Turn. Input. All right, so we should get our turn record. I have a feeling we're going to have to query to get stuff out of it anyway. If... Well, right away, if the status is does not equal drawn, right? Status drawn record status equals drawn. If it's not drawn, we got to yell at the user. Let's see. It's not if it's not your turn. Stop cheating. Good. Very kind words. If it is their turn, this is where we're going to need to get the game, I think, because we're going to need access to the piles and all that other. Well, I guess we don't need the pile. We just need the top card. But we're quickly going to get into how do I do reactive components. So it's going to be research time in a second, boys and girls, because I don't know nothing about that stuff. But I think there are some good references. So let's see here. Flow, reactive screen components. Hey, there you go. Mr. White, who has been posting about this stuff, and it is cool. Reduce the number of screens in your flow, streamlining canvas. Can I do, who wrote Eric Smith, I think. Let's go over to unofficial SF. I think, how would I find that? There's so much stuff out here. Good stuff. But there was a nice post. Oh, I don't know when that was, though. Well, let's see. Unofficial SF, Eric Smith. I think it was Eric Smith. He did a great demo of reactivity. And now I'm just trying to find that. This is sorted weird. Here we go. Reactive screen component demonstration. Whew! I was not going to find that. So he made memory as a game, and we can look at the source code. Yaha! What do we got in here? All right, so there's some LWC, right? So we have some cards. That's just the output. So we need to bring in flow support. Our card. Concentration images. Okay. Oh, that's just a static resource, I think. Is it? Yeah. And okay, Connected callback. What are we doing here? So it must be fed. Is it fed parameters from the flow? Probably need to yoink this and push it into our org, because looking at the flow's source code is not going to be a lot of fun. That's connection card, connection controller, or concentration controller. So is this a wrapper? No. Lightning button, brand, play again. Okay. So that I don't think is what we want. No aura. Static resources, so those are the images, okay. And the flow. Well, let's see. What does this look like? Nothing quite as fun as reviewing a flows by a source code. So let's see. Concentration game. Region container. Well, let's try to follow along here. I wonder if I need to have one of those components that's actually, let's look at where's the magic sauce? The magic sauce is going to be in the LWC's meta file. That's my guess. This is where we tell it to do stuff. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Concentration card, flow screen is the target. I'm going to grab a chair in a second here. The card ID, the match ID, the image order, the game key, the exposed ID. So we need to do this, and then we need to figure out how does... I'm going to open up another screen here. How does the flow tell it to do what it's... how does the flow give it information? So here's a card. Takes the inputs from the controller. So game controller is in here somewhere also. Yeah, I almost want to just grab this and drop it into our org, steal shamelessly, and say thank you to Eric and carry on. I gotta grab a chair here, folks. Can't stand at the standing desk all day long. Whoop, what's going on? It's totally not a mess under here. I promise. Oh, there we go. Wow. Why did I get so old? All right. Table coming down. Hi. There we go. Oh, so old. Okay. I'm just going to take a quick peek at... There was a video here. Let's see if there's anything with the source or the configuration. Okay, we don't have that, but we do have... there's a package, but I think we could just... let's see. It created one component that displays a card with either front, back, or blank being shown. The other component is a game controller that fires whenever a card is turned over. A controller component compares the last two cards. Okay, so somewhere in here... Okay, so this looks like... oh, wait. So we've got a... We're putting a component instance out here. So the controller is like in charge of things. And let's look back at that and see what it does. Oops. So we've got these events that we can latch onto. The controller, image count, card count, weight value. Exposed ID. That's interesting. Are those the 12 things there? 11, 12, 13, 21, 22, 23, 31, 32, 33, 41, 42, 40. Okay, so those are the 12 cards. So they're like kind of hard coded in here. So that'll be kind of interesting because we want to. We have an unknown number of cards to pick from. Can we? I don't think we can loop over. We can't loop over. I don't think we can loop over a set of images, right? We could do something really terrible and be like, here's the top card. Here's your first card. Do you want to play that? That doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Okay, so iterating components, probably not something we can do, which is why these are fixed, I think. If I look at the controller, it just controls the play again. What does handle play again do? Just for fun. Navigate finish. Okay. Got to learn more about these navigation events, but back in the flow, I see. Okay. It's all like it makes sense. So Eric has, like he said in his description, he's got back card, showing card, and then blank. So when a game is done or when a card is matched, it still has a placeholder, but nothing gets displayed. So those are hard coded in there. Yeah, we need a way to iterate over stuff. Which we could still kind of delegate that to an LWC, like a hand component, and that hand shows the cards, the game cards that are in the hand, and then we click a card, and it dispatches the event that we need to, whatever we need to do there, and sends it back to the flow. So we could also, I like this because we can have the flow pass the parameters to the LWCs that then need to react. So we should. This is really interesting. Like, you put something in a flow, and now a lot of the control, like the Apex logic that you would, at least, the Apex logic you would normally need to write can be kind of initialized with the screen flow. Because what are we going to initialize? We have our turn. We need our hand. We need the top card. Top card is fairly easy, right? We can just render that, I think. Use the same card component. Render our top card. Pass our hand cards into our other component, which is our hand component. And then we'll still have to bloop, 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 bloop those out in the page. But yeah, that could work, right? That could work. And we get to build some LWC, which is, super fun. But this is interesting. Yeah. All right. Here we go. I'm excited now. Let's see. Except I don't know what screen I'm on. Okay, we're up here. So we need We don't have any LWC yet, so I'm going to do a poll real quick just to make sure we got all the latest good stuff. Okay. What did we change? Somehow we changed. How did I change a profile? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay. We need an LWC. Uno card, I guess, right? Uno, or we could just call. It's really a game card, so I guess. I mean, let's just call it Uno card. I don't know. I'm paralyzed with decisions. Uno card. Ta-da! All right, what would Eric do? Eric would create a... He's got a concentration card. We need to render something. But first we need to... We're not going to have images yet, but we do need flow support. So we're a change event. Where does that get fired? All right, this fires a change event, which does something that we need to learn about. I'm going to guess it pushes maybe the property. What's attribute name? What's interesting is even when I sit at my desk and I'm not on the stream, this is exactly... I just talk to myself the same way. So doing a stream is easy. Just turn on a camera and listen to me ramble at myself. All right, probably easier to search, right? Oh, this passes in the attribute name. Okay, well, where's this get used? Exposed ID. Okay, dispatch flow attribute event, exposed ID. Let's go to our flow. We have a lot of these, but I'm hoping that we can, because we're going to ultimately need to pass the ID of the game card back up. We're also going to have to receive before, so maybe before we do our card, we need like our Uno card hand, I guess I'll call it. So let's go, because again, I don't see any way to iterate over records, or there's no way to loop on a screen that I know of. If there's a way, let me know. In the meantime, we're going to create another component. We're going to call that Uno card. Maybe we just call it Uno hand. Okay. So now we have a hand, and we're still... So this is kind of like the controller-ish. Let's go back and look at this card controller. Okay, what do we got? We're going to probably steal some of this. We'll put these references into Uno hand. I don't know if we'll need them all. What are we going to need? We're going to need... well, it's gonna receive game cards, right? So we need game cards. But before we do that, I want to look at the... Does this have any Oh yes, okay. We got properties. So we need all this. We're gonna steal all of this. And we're gonna change our Uno hand. Let's make this 58. I thought I changed my version. Yep, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't have that in the right spot. Anyway, we're gonna take. Let's see. What kind of properties can we accept from here? Let's go find out. Configure a component for screen flows. This seems handy. Screen flow, property, input, output, role. Okay, that's the role. All right, so do the properties just follow? Whoops, I have no idea what I just clicked. Oh, the chatter thing. Enables a component to be used on flow screens. Can I pass? I guess what we're trying to figure out is, can I pass a record, an S object array via a property? I don't think I've ever done that. Type. These values are valid for all targets. Make sure that this value matches the type assigned. Boolean, integer, string. Okay. So, could we make the hand responsible for getting the hand if we just passed it the Salesforce ID? No, wait. These values are valid only if the target is Lightning screen flow. Namespace class name. So we could use an Apex define type. A date time, schema. Oh, wait. Defines the data type to extend for component properties. No, this is for, I think that's for custom property editors. S object and collection data types can be extended. How many times does S object appear on this page? Not many. All right, so this is saying type. I don't think we can do arrays. What I was hoping to do was have the flow be completely responsible for getting the hand, so getting the game cards that are in the hand, and then saying, "Hey, Uno game card or game hand, Uno hand, do your thing. Render the stuff. Render a set of Uno cards, and we're on our way." But I don't think we can do that. So we could pass the pile, the pile ID, basically, to our hand. And that would be a string. Call that pile ID. And that's input. By having the turn, we can get the player. Yeah. Turn, player, hand. At least get the ID. And then we can pass that in. And now the Lightning component is responsible for... that's weird. The JT is immediately crashed. Okay. So we'll have our lightning component query the records. Could we use the... No, I don't want to use... I need the record IDs for this. Could we get the related list? The records in the related list? I've never done that. Get related list records. So if we passed the... What do you get back from this? Related list record collection. Paging records. I'm trying to do this without writing any code. So could we get away with that? Let's see. We pass in the pile ID. The pile 75, right? The pile has game cards. So I should get related list. The parent record is my pile ID that I'm passing in. The related list ID, I don't know exactly. How do you get that? The API name of the related list. Oh, okay. So it's just the... It's probably like game cards underscore underscore R, or something like that. The fields that we want back. I'm hoping that we don't even need to worry about these, because if they're referenced in the related list, hopefully they just come back. That would be my hope. Page size. We probably want to make that big, I guess. I've had terrible games of Uno where I've got like 60 cards in my hand. Maybe not 60. That's probably an exaggeration, but a lot of cards. And sort by, I don't think we care. Where clause, nope, we don't care about that. Records.fields.id. This is kind of the funky, where it's a little different than querying out with Apex. We're going to instead query this way. Well, let's try this. I've never done this before. So we also need this from the related list API. Pile ID is going to come in. Uno hand needs that. And then we're going to wire this up. Let's see. How do we have to reference these in our code, or in our LWC controller? All right, so these, I think these need to be set, right? So we need some, we're going to need one of these to say, because we've got, is that right? Exposed 11 was a property in there, so this is pile ID. Oh, and then he's using the underscore. Does he declare those, or just kind of let them fly? Okay. Underscore pile ID. Okay. Might need some call like that to do some stuff. So then, do I need to? I think I need to reference this like. So a wire adapter, a dynamic reference. There's something. Let's see. Probably should be asking ChatGPT this, but dynamically provide fields. No, that's not what we're looking for. The wire service. There's like one line in here that says when you got to do the this format here. I think I have to do that because we're. So this is pile ID, and then our related list. Let's look at our pile object. Or actually, let's look at our game card object, and then we can see. I think it's game cards underscore R. Let's try it. I'm gonna. Let's see, is it formatted like that? I'm not gonna pass a sort. And did we save our Uno hand? So that's the only, we're gonna, wait, this is called Uno hand. Decorators must be attached to a class element. Did I miss? Wait, did I miss something here? Oh, we don't have wire in here. Nope. I gotta turn my push on save back on. What? Decorators must be. What am I doing wrong? They must be attached to a class element. I've never. Decorators must be a. That's got to be a syntax error somewhere. Let's leave that up. There aren't many gray matches. Shucks. I can't be the only person running into that. What is... We got API. Let's see, is there anything in my... Well, let's do the thing where we remove some stuff. Let's see when it stops blowing up. Okay. So definitely with the wire service. Oh wait, we need to hold on. Don't we need to like give it a? We need to give it a thing, right? We got to give it a. Where'd you go? We got to give it something to populate, I think. Let's call this game cards. Or, yeah, this is game cards. This is basically the hand. Oops. There we go. Okay, so now game cards is our property, and we could loop over those in our component. Let's do that kind of real like quick and dirty here. Um, let's see if we have game cards. Then for each of those, for each game card, let's call it game card. I like being very specific. Now, what's curious is Wirespace get related records. Oh, can I just use that? But it looks like get related records, I have to pass it a list of record IDs that I want. I'm just following along in the chat. Where did that go? Component? No, developer guide, right? That's weird. Not getting anything back now? I thought that was in here. Yeah, I don't know if get related records exists. There's, what is it? There's get records. But this I have to provide the record IDs in question. So that, and I would need to get the relateds anyway. Okay, sorry. I don't know if this person in the chat is real or a robot. If they say something else, we'll respond. Okay, so all right, we got our records now. What I don't know is traversing the fields, right? That could be the next issue for us. Hypothetically, we could pass these. Does that just kick the can down the curb? I think, because we're gonna might need to create some formulas. We need to roll up some values from the card onto the game card. I don't know if, I guess I've never done that. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Where'd you go? Let's see. What was the name of that call? Let's see. In LWC, can get related records pass fields that include parent relationships does not not directly support querying. In order to retrieve, you may need to make additional server calls. You can then use getRelatedList adapter to fetch child records and separately retrieve parent relationships. Blech. Create a custom Apex method that queries the parent and child records with the necessary fields. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading this. Nobody can see it. Have you seen a robot with a name like mine? Or I could be an AI-generated advanced robot. Who knows? Yes. The mystery continues. I am not a hacker. I am a mediocre Salesforce developer who could definitely not break into any government database. So this is a bummer because, well, let's think about this a little bit. We, at the risk of a lot of ping-ponging, we ask our controller, we ask our hand to get the cards, to get the game cards, and then we pass the game card to each card. We're working with Uno on Salesforce. Mr. Krusty got no damn chill. It's a good name. And right now we're trying to figure out how to work with the Salesforce, how to work with some Salesforce queries to get to the data that we actually need without writing any code. And hopefully, let's see. If our card hand can get all the game cards, we could pass that up to, we can then pass that to each of our LWCs to get the card details that we need. And then we could still have, I think, those, I wonder if they have to talk through the hand, or if they could talk directly as a child component, could they still talk to the flow? We'll find out, I guess. So I don't know if this is going to be the most efficient way to do this. Probably not, because we're about to have a bunch of LWCs receive some parameters and then go get record details for each of them. But let's do it. Right? We can if we really needed to come back and write some Apex, but like I'm trying to avoid that because that's not the point. Right? How far through the LWC is code enough. All right. Going back up. The LWC is code enough. Let's see if we can avoid any Apex while we work through this. Okay. So this is going to get our game cards. We're going to loop through our game cards. I'm just going to output the ID of each of these and see if this does anything. We kind of got to see if we can get a pulse in from our flow that we're going to build. So now that this is marked as a flow screen, or targeted as a flow screen, I think we can go back to our originally scheduled flow somewhere here. Yep. And I'm just going to save this as, this is Uno play turn. This probably should run the flow as the Eventually, this should run the flow as the current user. I think we can get away with that. Version 58. Yep. Okay, and then let's refresh this. So hopefully we get our we can get our flow screen component here. Uno hand. Yep. And this is Uno hand. And then this is going to be our, let's see, can we get, well, that's interesting. We should, wait a minute. Let's save this. Do we have our, we do have our record ID, but we don't have a way to, all right, well, let's try this. I know this is redundant, but let's get turn. So we're going to get the turn where the ID. So we actually have to. Oh wait, did I? I think it has to be lowercase actually. Let's see if that makes it happy. No, that's interesting. So okay, I'm gonna trash this actually, and can't reference it. Don't really want to get rid of all that. We're just gonna, if 1 equals, I can't do that either. All right, we're just gonna trash it, I guess. Cancel, and delete. Let's delete the. Man, I don't want to delete any paths. Let's go to freeform here. There. So now we can go to our. Let's delete this. Make a new one. Record ID. So I'm gonna revert this to text because it seems like I can't pass the component or pass a parameter based on the component that's coming in. So let's go back over here. Oh, you're not gonna let me. Okay. Let's put a. Let's get records here. This is get turn. ID equals record ID, and we just need 1 record. Okay. Then let's do a decision of turn status, and drawn is what we want. Okay. Let's string all this together, and then we'll go back into auto layout because it's kind of ugly. That's the drawn, and that's the not drawn. There. That's nice. Okay, now it's still not there. That's really weird. So maybe because it's a string, do I have to literally... I'm going to create a formula called pile ID. Well, yeah, I can get the turns player's hand, right? That's what we need here. So the pile ID is text, and it is going to be turn player hand. All right. Save that. What am I doing wrong? I can't pass a parameter to that. Is it because of the way... How do we have our pile ID type string input only? That should be it. Sneak a peek at Eric's stuff. Target config, targets flow screen, pile ID, string input only. Well, can we not? That would sort of seem to defeat the whole purpose of this if we can't pass. Oh yeah, look at that. I can't traverse anything here. Can I type it myself? Let's see. The data type of the source you entered is not compatible. So it sees it here. Do we have to tell it anything else? We have a property for it under the hood. Is there anything we need to... Do we need to initialize anything in the... I don't think so. Dispatch flow attribute changed. Yeah, I don't think there's anything there. So if I can't pass, where'd you go? If I can't pass pile ID here, we're kind of sunk. Because that's sort of the whole point. It is a... I've made a formula. And let's see. So this isn't so much reactive right now as just trying to get some parameters to an LWC. Maybe we have to do this different. LWC flow input variables. Give the flow more context by initializing its variables. I'll give the flow... When you enable flow in a custom... Oh, that's in the other direction. That's not what we want. Variable from input to flow. Is this running into the same issue? Oops. That's interesting because like I can't even. That wraps both of your components and mediates the passing of events. Oh, do we need to opt into the reactive screens beta? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why nothing's working. Let's see. Didn't know we had a checkbox for that. What was that? Kudos to Salesforce Diaries for... I hope this is it. Opt-in. Okay, reactive screens make your flow screens react to changes on the same screen. By checking opt-in, you agree. I hope this is the deal. I never go to that page. Where were we? Here. Let's. Hopefully this will maybe magically make that feature work. Nope. Right. The hunt continues. Well, is there anything here that would tell us? Maybe it needs a label? Did I not give it a label? It shouldn't matter. It's just... This is... Okay, so this is interesting. Maybe we don't need... So looking at this, it's a flow screen, reactive value. There's no role here anymore. Screen for the low and name it. Add a text element. Provide the label API name. Add the lightning component. Pass text input element to it. Pass data instantly. Okay. So maybe we don't need that whole role situation anymore. Maybe we just need a... Let's try that. All right, so there's Uno hand. I'll go back over here. Refresh this. Interesting. I still can't... what version is our... maybe it's the flow version. No? Just not... I'm missing something here. How to pass data from screen flow to LWC. Lightning flow screen. Here's our yeah, I have no way of selecting. I don't know why I can't get any of my variables to pass to this. I can get that, but that's not useful. I have a pile ID variable, but it throws a fit about it. I don't understand why the results from get turn aren't available, nor is the formula for pile ID, which I'm just wrapping the path around it, that's also not available. Do they need to not be setters and getters? Do we just need to pass the property, maybe? Let's try that. It doesn't seem like it would be a thing, but still nothing. I don't understand. We'll just keep on floating, so we're definitely lightning flow screen on our hand. Yep. The name, the string, and make use of the events. I'm stumped here. Nope, I don't want to launch with that. I'm going to go back to the documentation over here. Not that. What? Come on. Where is all this stuff? Lightning screen flow. Everything I'm seeing online suggests you don't need to do the type in the role. But I tried that and it didn't seem to matter. Set up your flows for reactivity. Before adding and configuring, create your custom LWCs. If you plan on building reactive components, you'll need to understand the considerations for each. Standard flow component to standard flow component. Standard flow component to custom lightning web component. So any changes made to the text input are automatically reflected in the color public field inside the... Okay, so maybe it's just passing magically and we don't really care. Add a text name component to the custom... Add a text component and custom component, color name, and provide labels for each. In the color names property, select the text component as a source. So my... Make your custom component react to changes in a standard flow component. I don't necessarily need that. Like, I don't really need this to be reactive yet. I just need to get that value. We can try this, though. Why not? Custom lightning to standard flow. Lightning to lightning. Make a custom lightning web component react to another custom component. There's no examples in here. Let's see. Best practices. The sections describe state management. The flow runtime adheres to state management principles. State management when the flow navigates. Flow change event. All right, well, I'm gonna try. Maybe it's just gonna magically work. Sure, that's usually how these things go. Still weird that pile ID isn't populated. Let's go ahead and save this and debug and find ourselves a what are we looking for? We're looking for a turn, right? Oh, let's make this drawn. At least that part worked. Something went wrong with the Uno hand screen component. Contact your Salesforce admin. EPR is not... Oh boy. I feel like something ain't right. Something ain't right. What am I feel like I'm just missing something here. because I don't really even need it to react this way. I just need to be able to pass a parameter from, screen flow to LWC. So really it's like, nothing's happening here. Like, there's nothing. I'm not seeing anything exotic. I can't even get it to pass just a plain old parameter right now. Our component looks like this. I don't know if it's is it because we have something called pile ID? I'll change the name of that. Pile ID, let's call it formula pile ID. Maybe it's just colliding. Okay. No. Like this is me drawing out a value. I don't understand. We're doing the same thing over here. Target's lightning flow screen. Did I not put this in correctly? Pile ID, type string, input only. This is frustrating, man. I'm just going in circles here. I don't see anything different about what we're doing here. We got our target config. We got this thing called pile ID. Let me just make sure that this is, oh, I don't want to do a pull, I want to do a push. Let's make sure this is pushed in its latest version. Okay. And I'm going to close down a couple of these. I think we can leave that. Yeah, let's reload you. There's nothing here. I don't understand. I'm going to do something real dumb. I'm just going to make like another screen. And we're just going to put an input box on here. And just say, try this. Done. Down here. Nothing. What is going on? Are we missing? We have flow support. Flow attribute change, flow attribute finish. And we're not even referencing, they're not even referencing those here. I'm going to take them out. I can't imagine that would be an issue, but maybe it's because of our wire. I'll guess at anything at this point, you know. Let's just render our pile ID. We'll take this other stuff out. Like, let's get something to... Doesn't get much more basic than this. I'll take out this. All right, we'll comment this out. We literally just need this. That's it. And oh, push. We are like off the rails here. This is a bummer. I don't know what's missing. This is like stripped down to nothing now. I can't put anything in there. Is it a scratch org thing? Like, do I need to stand up a new scratch org and make sure that, because this is a summer edition, but that shouldn't matter. Like, this stuff has nothing to do with, this has been around forever. So what is the deal? I just had to respond to somebody at work here. Hey, Oopalulu. Thanks for hanging out. I'm sorry this is really not exciting right now because unless I'm doing something real dumb, nothing is working with my LWCs and my flows. Maybe my LWC is the wrong version? Nope. Maybe my flow is the wrong version? Nope. Like, what else could be wrong? I'm going to take it off the page. Save. Refresh. Add it back. Still there. And I still can't pick anything for this value. Let's create a variable that's a text variable. You know, var1 text default value var1. And let's put our component back out on here. Nothing. I still can't pick, you know, uno, hand. What if I save this? Come back here. Like I can't pick anything. I don't know what to I don't know what to do. There's nothing more in my stuff than what's, you know, literally the most basic of things at this point. You know, I got this thing called pile ID, and that's the same as here. I've got my targets, got my target config, my property name, the type, the label, the role. And then this flow component is happily accepting, you know, that value. I'll put a text input on another screen. Test text, test text. Done. Still nothing. Still nothing. I should be able to pick test text here. I should be able to pick anything. This should work like a, you know, like a let's try, you know, LWC screen flow input variable cannot select. Hey. Nope, see, they're having no problem here. Text box val. Maybe there's something else underneath this. Not sure. Not really. Hmm. Name type role includes specific objects. Okay. To directly publish access to your data structures. Add array notation if it's a collection. Well, okay. So that's cool. You can now use generic S objects. That's cool. But doesn't matter because nothing's working. This is great because maybe we can pass our whole, our whole thing in. Contact collection. How do they have them described? They don't have that at all. This is creating them and passing them to flow. Each property has to meet the requirements of each target that mentions it. Flow is forced to add a default attribute to edit tab name because edit tab name is also using the app builder pages. Oh, man. To get an LWC to appear in a Flow screen builder, you add Lightning ScreenFlow target. To expose attributes from the LWC, you first use API and the JavaScript as a standard for any property. You additionally specify which of these public properties should be made visible in Flow by adding a target config section. Record ID. So I don't see rule name here, but okay. The type field supports the same types that Flow supports within Aura components. That includes specific stuff. You can also use this interface to directly publish access to Apex data class structures. Yeah, we don't need to do that. You can now use generic. We don't need to do that. What are these two trying to express? They look exactly the same. Namespaces we don't need. The role parameter can be added to property elements inside. It has been created specifically to provide support for Flow's ability to limit input or output. If no role is specified, the property is available in both directions. Okay. Unable to find data type for a complex reference foo. You may need to set a default value on your attribute. For example, this will occur if the value attribute is not set to an empty string here. Could that be why? Creating contacts in JavaScript and passing them to Flow. That's not what we're doing. There's nothing unusual compared to what we're doing here. I'm going to take the roll out because I don't know. At this point, I have no idea why. I just can't pick anything, like that's like here, let's go, like let's just do some display text, like even here I can go pick stuff? Why can't I pick stuff here? Why is it only giving me the global variables? Can't select variables. What is, wait a minute. It must just be showing everything. I'm stumped, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think there's anything that's happening here that is different from the... This is kind of a full stop. Like, we can't even get... I just want to pass something to our property here, and it just won't let me. See, it won't even traverse even these values. It won't traverse them. I wonder if I... This will be dumb, but we could... Let's try it. All right, I'm going to try to update it in metadata and see what happens. Let's pull down what we've got. I'm sure this isn't going to work, but... All right, where is our... screen, field, Uno hand. Let's look at Eric's example. Input parameters. Is that within the field? Yep. Component instance. Store output automatically. That's interesting. This would be pile ID. And the string value is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't really care what it is on the other side. Now, does that... Let's just start there. And try pushing that back in. See if we get an error that's actually... Oh, okay, that worked fine. So now what? Let's go back here. Refresh this. Close and reopen the flow. Okay. Okay. Is this our flow? Okay. What? All right, can I, let's try something else. Does it work now? Like, is it reacting? No. It's happy about that. Doesn't exist in this flow. Really? Formula pile ID. Let's just save that. All right. Doesn't match the type for the assigned value. Yeah, no kidding. So that's dumb because why? All right, let's put it in the... Oh, wait, let's pull first. It says that's pile ID, right? Formula pile ID, okay. Where'd it go? Well, it's not that one. The type for the input parameter pile ID doesn't match the type for the assigned value. I don't know, y'all. Definitely stuck here. Like this has nothing to do with reactive components. This is just flow parameters to an LWC. And before and after the settings in Salesforce, we this should just work. I don't know what else to say. This should just work, and it's dumb that it's not. I'm gonna probably spin up a new we'll spin up a new scratch org, maybe. I'll also try this in another org, maybe just a sandbox, and see if I run into the same issues. I can't. It's got to be the org. I just can't imagine there's anything else going on here. So I'll run some tests. But we did not get to the point of having our LWC in the flow and get it talking to our, getting a couple of Lightning Web Components talking to the flow in and out for a turn. We definitely didn't get to anything reactive at this point, so I'm gonna wrap for today and bandage my wounds, because this just didn't really get anywhere for the last hour of the show. But I'll figure this out in the meantime and hopefully get back to y'all next week, and we can make some progress, pick up where we left off. But thanks everybody for coming. Love getting messages in the chat window, and hope to see y'all again next week. I'm Tom, and in this moment we discovered something that you can't do on Salesforce. I guess we'll get it fixed. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time, as soon as I can figure out how to get my stuff turned off here. Nope, that's not it. I don't know where my screens went to. Okay. There you are. See you guys.